Sometimes there's a man, he's the man for his time and place. He fits right in there. And that's the dude in Los Angeles.
When the Coen brothers, The Big Lebowski, released in 1998, the dude was definitely the man for the time and place. The film was extremely quick to gather a cult following. It had already had midnight screenings as early as the year 2000. But what was it about this movie that had people raving about it? Generally, no matter the cult practices they were following, all the fanatics saw something special in the dude, or whatever you called him.
Or his dudeness, or duder, or El Duderino, if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
In this video, we're going to take a look at how the Coen brothers used the dude's unique way of being to criticize masculinity and cultivate a cult following. In order to truly appreciate the dude, you gotta have an understanding of the plot that he's thrown into. When a couple of goons mistake him for the other Jeff Lebowski in town, he gets his rug soiled.
Not on the rug, man.
After that, the dude gets thrown into a plot that has everything and nothing to do with this rug. He gets involved with a kidnapping, a ransom, mutilation, and so much more. Throughout all of this, the dude's just looking for his own peace.
They're like me, they're pacifists.
But what stands out is that the dude is surrounded by contrasting forms of masculinity throughout the progression of the film. We see the ultra-capitalistic Big Lebowski.
Chinaman took them from me in Korea, but I went out and achieved anyway.
There's the overcompensation and extreme polish in Brant's behavior.
Wonderful woman. We're all very fond of her, very free-spirited.
The hypersexualization and suave in Jesus. But nobody embodies this criticism of excess and masculinity as much as Walter does.
Walter? You think I'm fucking around here, Market Zero?
Full of aggression and absent-minded overconfidence, Walter's portrayed as the pinnacle of what traditional masculinity is thought to be. Walter, in many ways, is written as the polar opposite of the dude. While the dude claims himself as a pacifist, Walter's keen for combat. While the dude doesn't seem to care about much, Walter cares about things too much. So much so that Walter is the one that convinced the dude to try to get his rug back to begin with, and thus caused the entire plot to unfold. So while other characters like Walter and the Big Lebowski are presented as the problem, the dude is displayed as the solution. And just like the narrator described in the opening scene, the dude is the man for his time and place. But what is it about the dude that makes him the hero of our story? The way I see it, it's his non-traditional masculinity. You see, the dude, unlike the other men throughout the movie, is a man who doesn't act based on how he thinks others are going to perceive him. While Walt aims to seem tough, and Mr. Lebowski aims to seem successful, and Jesus aims to look cool, the dude just aims to live a calm and peaceful life. This was all done by the Coen brothers to solidify the criticism that traditional masculinity is excessive and almost even nonsensical, while more people in the real world act like the rest of the characters. The audience is urged to believe that the dude is the only level-headed character in the entire movie. This isn't the only way the film criticizes masculinity. It's doing that throughout the entire film.
My art has been commended as being strongly vaginal, which bothers some men. The word itself makes some men uncomfortable. Vagina.
But how does criticism on masculinity resonate so strongly with its viewers that it leads to a cult following for decades ahead? This is why I started the video by saying that the dude was the man for his time and place. The year before Big Lebowski released, the two highest grossing movies were Men in Black and The Lost World: Jurassic Park. These are films that glorified brave and assertive men, certainly characters unlike the dude. Before The Big Lebowski, there wasn't really a movie that glorified the non-confrontational hippie. Movies mainly glorified romance and braveness in men. This traditional portrayal of masculinity is what was seen in government leaders throughout the world. And the Coen brothers came in and glorified this new archetype of a man at the exact time that people were fed up with the old leadership. The Big Lebowski came in right after the Watergate scandal, and at a time where Vietnam was still on people's minds, and showed people the absurdity of traditional masculinity. The Coen brothers concentrated these premises into ridiculously polarized characters and coupled it with dialogue that was hilarious, unique, and most importantly, memorable.
I'll take it away from you and stick it up your ass and pull the fucking trigger till it goes click.
And it worked. It worked like a charm.
Fans became obsessed. They rewatched the movie several times, set up midnight screenings, and even set up festivals called Lebowski Fests. These festivals usually lasted about 2 nights and included watching the movie, live music, and a bowling party with costume contests and trivia.
But there's one main reason that I give all the credit of Big Lebowski's cult following to the dude, and that's the formation of dudism, a religion dedicated to the dude. This is an actual religion dedicated to the dude and his philosophy and lifestyle. You can even get ordained for free on their website. That's how much the dude's revolutionary form of masculinity and leadership stuck with audiences. People were inspired. People saw that you don't have to be aggressive or overconfident to solve your problems. You can be like the dude. And when you rely on dudism to solve your problems, well,
The dude abides.
thanks for watching. I hope I was able to really tie the movie together.
Yeah, man, it really tied the room together.